Hello, loves. I am Claudia with Olivos Art Studio with Sacred Powers and Goddesses Oracle deck, the sister to the Sacred Mothers and Goddesses Oracle deck, which we will begin using very soon. We're in a different spot because it got dark very I'm just so busy. Send me good energy, you all, so we can overcome a bunch of challenges that have come our way with a container on its way to us. Thank you, Spirit. Thank you, Spirit, for clearing the way for the container to arrive here in our new home. Thank you, Spirit, for clearing the way for anyone and everyone watching this video today. Thank you, Spirit, for the messages we're going to be getting today. We're going to start with the Goddess or Sacred Power, Sacred Mother for the collective for this week. Then or if if this is, I guess, if you run into this video 3 weeks, 3 months, 3 days from now, 3 years from now, it is meant to you, for you at this specific time. Okay, and then we'll do the pick a card, and we have these birds, and so they are representing, this one is representing joy, ancestors, joy took a twirl, ancestors and peace. And then, of course, we have for your astrology, air, earth, water, and fire. Okay? So we're going to begin with this one for the collective. Thank you, Spirit, for this energy. Keeper of Sacred Fury. Keeper of Sacred Fury. Let me move the fire a little bit further away from her, and let's see a little bit about this goddess. Now remember, I do have the extended version unedited, and also I plan to translate it. I already translated the Espíritus, which we will begin with that one after we integrate the Sacred Mothers. And so the Espíritus has already been translated. If you have it and you want it in Spanish, it is, let me know, and or look on our website, because it's a free download, should be on there. Let me know if you can't find it. Okay, Liza, keeper of Sacred Fury. She's the daughter of Nyx, who's also in this deck, and also the sister to Manai, the spirit of madness. And her spirit and her energy is one of divine emotional intensity. Sorry, I should be focusing on the card, right? There. Can you see all these eyes? Okay. So, so she appears when conventional justice fails. Ooh. When things are unfair. And only divine emotional honesty can restore cosmic balance. Unlike deities of calculated vengeance, she embodies the raw, purifying force of sacred emotional intensity, like a sudden storm that clears poisoned air. Through her influence, even states of intense emotion or altered consciousness could become pathways to profound wisdom unnecessary change. The Greeks understood that controlled, purposeful madness, the static states in Dionysian rituals, the prophetic frenzy of the Delphic oracle, and the battle fury of warriors all contained sacred wisdom impossible to access through reason alone. And we see that even, in modern religious and spiritual practices, right? So in iconography, Lysa was often depicted with some animal attributes. So here I painted her with ears. She's also known as a healing goddess, and she had healing temples dedicated to her energy, and her presence was invoked when conventional healing methods failed, and acknowledging that certain forms of emotional intensity could break through barriers that reason alone couldn't penetrate. And you can even think about, the practices, for example, of what is it called? When we're called to cry, from it was very popular in the 60s. I can't remember. Tell me in the comments read my mind. Or even nowadays where, men and women go into the woods and scream and let it all out and have these emotional releases that break through barriers, right? That reason alone couldn't penetrate. Also the use of certain things like ayahuasca, etc., which some argue that, not only in Dionysian mysteries, but in others of the time too, that suggested altered states of consciousness used for transformation. So, and this is not me telling you to go out and do it. This is the stories. These are the stories, the myths. Now, for her message as part of this deck. Sorry, let me get her close again. So her message, her energy in this deck is when she appears in your reading. That's for all of us, anyone watching this video. She brings powerful wisdom about emotional intensity that many spiritual practices overlook. So the calm down, think positive, or let it go, she stands as guardian of sacred emotional storms. Now look at where you've been bottling up powerful feelings in the name of peace or politeness. Perhaps you've swallowed anger over injustice somewhere in your life, right? Or suppressed grief, or something that you have shut down in order to be positive. And so these feelings do deserve acknowledgement. It doesn't mean that you have to explode, right? There's different ways that we can recognize and express them. And but when we control them, it doesn't mean they disappear either. So there's got to be ways in which where Liza offers a revolutionary perspective, so that you can allow yourself to feel fully or express the passion without diluting it. So there's ways in which you can participate in your own cleansing, and this could be through making art, through going out and digging holes, or chopping wood, or running. There's many different ways. Swimming in very cold water. There's different ways in which you can also let this go. One thing that I've done in the past is have screamed underwater, just so loud, screaming underwater. And, it's important to note that this is not an invitation to be emotionally reckless, right? But rather a conscious engagement with your feelings. It's an invitation for you to create a safe container for expressing it. Like I was saying, some kind of ritual space, maybe writing it out in anger and then burning that piece of paper. So the key is allowing the energy to move through you. This is why movement is really, really great. And if you've ever heard of we know dogs shake, right, when they're uncomfortable. And there is a therapy that was actually made by this, I don't remember if he was a psychologist or psychiatrist, who was treating people with PTSD. And it is literally getting you to shake. So different movements of your body holding itself to the point where it's shaking, like making a chair with your body, with your back against the wall and knees bent, chair position until your legs shake. These ways you can get this energy out of your body. So this is proven. This is science. It's not just woo-woo stuff. So move that energy through and notice what happens when you allow yourself to complete this cycle. I remember one thing that was really useful for me too is I took a class. I don't remember what it was called. They had a name where you would go and there was a teacher making like some basic movements, but you could basically just like do whatever. And so you're in a room and everybody, releasing. It was definitely a spiritual thing. And you're barefooted and eyes closed and just releasing, moving your body, just allowing your body to move all that energy through. You could do it in your living room, right? So it's not about random destruction. It's about trusting and honoring this emotional weather and storm within you, and then it allows you to align with yourself and these natural cycles, that come through in our lives, and we can bring in some calm when there is a storm. Thank you, Spirit. I really needed that. Thank you, Spirit. Okay. Hope you benefit from that as I have. And now go ahead and breathe in, out, in and out through your belly. If you can, put your hand on your belly so you can feel your hand go in and out as you breathe slowly. Whenever you're feeling anxiety, it's a really good breath to do. And see which one of these you want. Peace. Well, we want all three, right? You only get to choose one. I'm thinking bluebird of happiness, representing joy, the cardinal for our ancestors, the dove for peace. We're going to start with the dove for peace. If you chose this one, Fortuna, fortune, sacred flow coming your way. Are you worried about finances? Spirit is saying, be at peace. Fortune, sacred flow is coming your way. Now remember, you have 3 cards here and in your notebook, which I will be on tomorrow on TikTok at 8 p.m. ET, and we will be working in our workbook. So you write all 3 and write down 2 why you chose, did you choose this one because it was peace? Or maybe this one reminds you of somebody or something. And so you know, but mainly also the 3 cards. You can also use numerology. You could add all the numbers of all the cards together, divide them by 3. You know, I don't know. So really, I don't know anything about numerology. So if someone knows, like, how could you do that? Let me know in the comments. Let us know. Okay, so next, if you chose the cardinal, wanting to hear from your ancestors, perhaps you have the Morgan, rise into your power. Rise into your power. There's a real clear messages, so I'm not even going to look in the guidebook. If you chose joy, it is keeper of sacred discord. Another clear message. So this is very much like Liza, same message, you know, very similar. So the sacred discord, her throwing in the golden apple, so would be fought over, did create a little bit of pandemonium, but it was sacred. It was to bring joy. So I feel like this, along with Liza, it's like something needs to be said, perhaps, or done, and it might shake the waters a little bit, but it, you know, be at ease, because it's going to bring joy. All right. Thank you, Spirit, for these messages. Okay. Then we will begin from fire. If you are fire, you have Angitya, mistress of serpent wisdom. So move with wisdom. Move slowly. And till you know you need to move quickly and pounce. But be watchful. There's clear directions. I think patience comes along with this. You know, the serpent wisdom. Serpents have wisdom in knowing when to move, when to stay still. You know, changing to match their environment also. So much going on there. And it's quite promising also. You know, there's a lot of light going on here. Okay, next, if you are water, Pele, sacred fire of transformation. There is something that is precious that you are taking care of. This also, sacred fire of transformation, feels to me, well, no, you know what, I'm just going to do some bit more messy with this one. Pele, thank you, Spirit. Let's get a message through this tool that are the oracle decks. Thank you, Spirit. Okay. And this Pierce says, trust the unmistakable sense of alignment that comes when you discover your rightful place, and don't hesitate to claim and protect it, not out of selfishness, but because honoring your sacred space allows your unique gifts to flow into the world. and you are a blessing. These are your sacred gifts that you're protecting. Thank you, Spirit. Ooh, that was beautiful. Felt that all through my body. Hope you did too. If you are Earth, setting up, keeper of sacred depths. Ooh, sending you so much love. This is very much a healing card. Let's see some bibliomancy for Sedna. Thank you, Spirit. Thank you, Spirit, for messages for this week. I speak blessings for us all of our challenges. Thank you, Spirit, for your guidance through these tools. This is a time to practice radical self-compassion. Notice how you speak to yourself when you're struggling. Is it with a kindness you'd offer a friend or with a harsh judgment? Consider specific practices that might help you navigate the emotional depths. Perhaps journaling, creating art from your feelings, sharing with trusted friends, or seeking professional support. Told you, I felt it. I felt you needed a hug. So I'm sending you a hug. Big, big hug. Thank you, Spirit. All right, for those of you, those of us who are air. Thank you, Spirit. Ay, Dios mío. Frig, weaver of sacred sight. Weaver of sacred sight. It's always harder when it's my card too, or like when it's, one of the pick-a cards, when I choose one. Okay. Thank you, Spirit, for your message for us who are air. Okay. Her energy wait. There we go. Her energy invites us to intentionally cultivate moments of receptive awareness. Okay, I feel like I need to read before this the whole thing. This is talking about flow states. Those moments when your conscious mind relaxes its grip and deeper insights surface naturally. So these flow states can be when you're just, we say, I was mindlessly doing this and this, That's a flow state, right? And that's when your conscious mind relaxes its grip and deeper insights surface naturally. A lot of times it happens for people in the shower or when they're driving. You're likely experienced it when solutions to problems suddenly appear. Frigg invites you to intentionally cultivate these moments of receptive awareness. Recognize them as sacred gateways to intuitive knowledge rather than random occurrences. So when these things jump into your mind, when you're driving a familiar route, when you're just, quote unquote, mindlessly doing a task and something jumps into your mind, don't disregard it. Pay attention and know and recognize this is your connection to Spirit. Just like these cards are, a tool is your connection to Spirit. You have that connection without needing any tools, really. This makes it more fun. Makes it a little bit easier. That's why. But also, this is an energy always available to all of us. All of us. All right, loves. I wish you a beautiful week. And I'll be seeing you soon. So much love. Besitos. And remember, sacred powers and goddesses and